my little town? Tell us how you doing today. Well, baby, if you are the Prince of Wales, baby, even the Daily Mail is sitting there squaring up on y'all. Y'all, this is embarrassing. The British media are turning on William and Kate. And by turning, I mean they are acknowledging the obvious, the New York flop, the way they can't do anything. They are even calling William stuttering, muttering, embarrassing, awkward. I know William's like, see here, awkward. That's the skinny one with the mop on her head. What's her name? Kate? What's her name? Not Rose? No, your Highness. Her name is Kate. Ah, yes, Kate. Waiting for a personality, Katie. Y'all, the whales are being dragged. They're even saying that Charles has all the sparkle. And Charles and Camilla were all over Paris looking like your grandparents that need to go home because they are tired and sick of the Paris whim. Y'all, listen. Let's get into this mess. Where should we start first? We need to talk about how William just got dragged by the Daily Mail for embarrassing the country. I mean, if I was William, I feel a little sorry for him. Y'all went to do colonial cosplay, and of course you got your patooties handed to you. But then you went to New York. Nobody cared. Everybody ignored you. It was all cool. And you getting dragged for being embarrassing and stumbling and not being able to form a sentence. Isn't it weird that out of the two of them, right? Isn't it weird that out of the two of them, Kate's the more natural one? Because it's not as fair. You go do that. Y'all, let's get this. Okay, so, also, you know these rumors about William being a shouter and them throwing pillows at each other are getting louder and louder. Now, here's all I want to say, right? A lot of people I've noticed that Kate always has injuries. I don't know why that is, but her husband is always being talked about as having an amazing temper. But I don't know. I don't want to even go so far as to say that, but take it as it will. Also, Harry is being lauded for radically changing the perception of Germany's veterans. Listen to this, because this is something that really, it was unexpected, but it wasn't surprising, if that makes any sense. Hold on, let me pull the article. Okay, they say, and listen to this, because this is powerful. There's a whole article about it. I'm just going to get to the good part. They said, and then came Harry. They said that usually Germans, they're not into respecting their troops. Apparently that's a very American thing, but they usually like their troops are forgotten. They said, and then came Harry, modest, thoughtful, honoring the veterans. He spoke of comradeship so naturally, it was far from glorifying heroism. Instead, accompanied by Meghan, he patiently explained the horrific consequences of war on soldiers, shook hands, drank local beer, tipped generously, smiled for selfies, and sat through 80 minutes of Germany's most popular sports TV show, Das Aktuelle Sports Studio. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. He even had the grace to lose against our defense minister, Boris Petraeus, and when shooting a football at its famous Torwart, that's a goal wall with 2 holes in it. Thanks to his Invictus Games, traumatized and disabled German soldiers received more airtime and visibility in a week during prime time than they've had in the previous 10 years. They were shown as part of a society and not an isolated part. So thank you for your service, Harry. Y'all, again, this is what William's really mad about. Harry from starting Invictus Games, because it's real. He's like, I went through war. I understand what it was to come back. I understand my friends, my colleagues. I understand. We need to honor. Doesn't matter whether you agree with the war or not. The soldiers are not the ones that should have to pay. It was started from his passion, from real life experience, just like his mother's causes. And it got so big. I think this is going to be as big as the Olympics, the Power Olympics. It's definitely going to be huge because it started from something real. Meanwhile, William in Earthshot with what is he in the hole now? 20, $30 million, all these things, all these appointments, all this, and he cannot even get at one fraction of not even the effort, because it's still early. William needs some time. but even 1 ounce of the respect and that general goodwill, because at the end of the day, you don't care about the environment. You're literally taking your father's cause because it seems easy, right? No politics, no this, no that, but you're so Tory to your heart that you can't even do that. Anyway, let's get into William and the way the press played him. Y'all, I actually was like, ugh, I felt sorry for him. Listen to this. Richard K., editor at large. Wait, no, this isn't the one I want. Hold on, there's another one. This is in the Daily Mail. She said, by Jan Moore, she said, since the Queen died, I've struggled to see what the point is of the royal family anymore. Is that wrong? She said, since the Queen died, I've struggled to see what the point of the royal family is. Once this dignified, dutiful, much-loved matriarch left us from the great palace to the great palace in the sky, she took the last drop of regal charisma with her. Imagine the fact of a 90-year-old woman stunting on you. Along with my devotion, all we are left with now is well-meaning but essentially ho-hum next generation, the second tier of a crumbling cake. Monarchical subs on a bench. If questions are raised about the value of their individual and collective roles within the UK, then the issue of their significance gets even more crucial when they venture abroad. Y'all, this is after William embarrassed himself in New York, but it gets worse. They said, look at the King and Queen in France this week. All very marvelous, all very cordial. It's all very, let's not mention the small boats as they shuffled around Paris with the weirdo Macrons. There was a banquet at Versailles. She said that Charles demanded he not be served foie gras or out-of-season vegetables such as asparagus, even though back home the Pavilion Tea Room in Kensington Palace, right, serves asparagus and salmon. After dinner, Charles made a speech about the significance of Britain working with France to tackle climate change and honoring the asparagus season, mere hours after Rishi Sunak announced he was putting the brakes on Britain's financially ruinous, not to say crazy, rush to net zero emissions. There was further embarrassment when, in a historic address to the French Parliament, the King called global warming an existential challenge and called for a sustainability agreement with France. Fine words, but after the British government U-turned on green targets, Charles must have been feeling very green indeed, and there was more than just that unfortunate timing. It perfectly emphasized increasing royal irrelevance. Here's where it gets funny. And if that, she goes on to dog out Camilla, but she said, and if that wasn't bad enough, Prince William in America was even worse. He was speaking in New York as the finalists were announced for his flagship environmental project, Earthshot Prize. Again, you idiot. Why don't you fly the environmentalists out with you? It's like at the end of the day, they're like, no, me. This is my camera time. Hey, you stay over there. No, me. And everyone's like, if you are having a prize, an award, we do not need to see your place, William. We don't need to see you. Where's all these people supposed to be going with you? Anyway, right? The prince appeared in front of an audience that included Bill Gates, UN climate envoy Mike Bloomberg, and former New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, or as I like to call them, people with nothing better to do. They certainly must have wished they were on an Earthshot the hell out of there when William began speaking. William said, if we think we remark on how pessimistic and doomed and gloom everything is, even though there's a healthy dose of that needed, it doesn't provoke the reaction from us humans that we would like. Honestly, she said, who writes this banal guff stuff for him? When he went to inspect some oyster beds, don't ask me why. My final royal snapshot of the week was a fright sight of Princess Beatrice and Eugene sprinting up the red carpet at Vogue fashion event. With the certitude of two women, we know there is a free frock in it for them somewhere. Is this the shallows to which they've all sunk? I'm afraid so. And it's only been a year since the Queen died. Y'all, listen. They dogging your boy out. They're dogging them out. Get this also. The royals also, Richard K., and you know he is the worst, right? He literally dragged William for in his New York being awkward and stilted. He's not a natural on his feet. Oh my God. He said one of the problems with William is He's not a natural on his feet. He's slightly awkward on his feet. He's cautious. He's always been cautious. Kate is too, okay? And he's trying to show that there's a more open side to him, that he can be a bit more spontaneous. Kay also noticed the success of William's stateside trip, which he argued may have been overshadowed had Kate joined him. Speaking to his panelists, Kay said, the fact is it becomes less of a fashion show if Kate is there. And it's more about him and what he has to say about that. Let me tell y'all something. Do they realize who the royal audience is? Women are into the royals because they like the idea of a princess and a queen and fashion shows. Queen Elizabeth understood that. They need to understand. But actually, Kate is just cosplaying Meghan. You guys had the most exciting thing that happened to the royal family in umpteen years, and you threw it away because you were petty, vindictive, and jealous. William, Kate, Charles, Camilla, you guys wanted the stage. Beatrice, Eugenia, you guys are tap dancing. Because you know, you guys want some of that stage too. This is what you came for. Enjoy, baby, enjoy. One thing about those tables, they're always gonna turn. And I love my enemies being exposed, all for their own mess. Y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.